In this section, we are going to talk about views, and not only the basic things in views, but the important things and the things that are used in most of our daily projects. And besides that, apart from basics, we are also going to cover the advanced concepts in views as well. So let's first start by the basic concepts. Okay, so I have created a brand new controller, which is just I just named it as the view controller, and there is only a one file which is inside the views directory I have created, and it's an empty file. And you can see it here on my screen. So if I reload, it's totally empty. Now, first of all, we have already seen like how we can pass the data to our views. There are two ways. The one way is either passing the variable by using the compact method, or by passing an array which contains the keys and the values. So let's say I want to name this page the title here. So what I can do is basically I will create an array and name it as title. The key would be title, and let's say learning about view. All right. Now, if I need to pass that, I will pass it as a second parameter of the view here. And in order to get that, I can get here by using the double curly braces and the title. The key would be is the title, so here I will use the title. Now if I reload the page, I see learning about view here. Now let's say I want to display a description here inside our page, which is basically passed from our controller. All right, so let me just copy the description and I will paste it here, and we will see how we can actually render that description on our main page. All right, so let's create a new array with the key of description, and let's paste that description here. So I just copied this description from the lorem ipsum, that's the dummy website that generates the dummy text. All right, now, so in order to display the HTML here, it's pretty simple. All I need to do is basically need to use the variable description, and if I reload, I should see the description appearing here. Just a second. Okay, so there is an issue here. So if I reload the page one more time, I see the description here. But for example, I want to display the heading here, the h1 tag, like so. And let's go to the lipsum.com website here, and I will copy this line of code. Sorry, this line. Now I will paste it inside the h1, and if I go back to the main page and if I reload, now you can see that the HTML elements are being displayed instead of rendering it. All right, so how we can actually display the heading here? That should be in the h1 form. Now the easiest way to do is basically, instead of double curly braces, we have a concept which is single curly brace and double exclamation sign. All right, now if I paste that variable within these parameters and if I reload, now you see we have the HTML here. Now this is really important to know that you cannot use this syntax everywhere. All right, for example, if you have created a blog post and that blog post contains comments, now the comments the user can try to manipulate with your blog. For example, they can write a code which maybe just loads an alert, for just for an example. So now let's say for an instance, I create a duplicate of this, and let's say I will create the comment key, and in between here I will type in script and alert and that alert will show hello, you are hacked, just for an instance. All right, now let me put that inside the double curly braces. Now if I copy this command, this variable, and I paste it by using double curly braces, what will happen if I reload? Now you see this is basically rendered without the HTML, with the HTML tags. All right, but instead of that, if I try to display the comment by using the exclamation sign, so this basically will render the HTML. Now if I reload, you see I will see the alert every time. So if I reload, I will see the alert. If I reload, I will see the alert. Now, that in that way, the user can try to manipulate with your application. So you have to be very careful with this specific tag here. All right, but you can display that specific, use that specific tag when you are trying to load the data that you really know that this can only be inserted by you or by any other admin of the website. Apart from that, any other user is inserting data into the database, you should always not consider using these things, these parameters. All right, now let's remove that. Let's see what else we have inside the views here. So let's say conditionally I want to generate some maybe some view or some text here. All right, so for example, let's say I want to display this comment based upon if the comment length is maybe, for an instance, you say it is greater than 10 characters. Okay, so let me just use this as actually just comment this out, and let's use the comment here. All right, now I want to display the comment. How can I do that? The first thing is basically there are two ways. The first way is by using the if statement. Now in our regular PHP, we use if statements by using the PHP sign here. Alright, we can still do that in the blade as well. The blade also supports these these PHP tags, but we are not going to do that because we are actually working with Laravel. So how we can do is basically we can type in if, maybe let's say the string length. Okay, so str length of the comment, maybe it's greater than 25. All right, only then display it, just for an example. So this should not display because the comment has less characters than 25. All right, so now you can see this is displaying nothing. Else we can put that description here. So how we can do that? Else inside the if, we can also use the else here. So if the comment has characters, then display the character, else display the description. Now you see we still are displaying the description. Now if I just say type in the has length of greater than 5, you can see we have now comment here. All right, now let's talk about the loops here. All right, so we have talked about the if statement. Now let's talk about loops. So for example, let's say I want to run a for loop which displays maybe a text of 10 times. So I can do is basically for dollar iteration maybe, or maybe let's say loop is equals to 1, loop is less than or equals to 10, and loop plus plus. Now inside that I want to display the HTML. How should I display the HTML? In our normal PHP, what we were doing is basically we used to have this tag, and inside this we were displaying, let's say for example, loop maybe L equals to 1, L is less than or equals to 10, L plus plus. So what we were doing is basically in order to display the HTML, we either have to use the echo statement, or if the HTML was too long, we have to close the PHP tags there, and then we have to write the HTML in between these tags. All right, but in Laravel what we can do is basically we can type anything in between these in between the for loop, and that could be anything in the form of HTML. For example, let's say I display hello, this loop is running maybe dash times. All right, so dash times. So let me just recorrect the running spellings here. So now if I need to run this loop, so let's first of all let's see how this will display. So now you can see this loop is running dash times. So I can also use the break tags here. So now if I reload, you see this is coming one line each. All right, now if I want to use this loop here, so all I need to do is basically I need to use that inside the curly braces. If I reload the page, now you can see 1 2 3 4 5 up to 10 times. Okay, how cool is that? Now within that we can also include our files within this for loop as well. We will talk about much more things in our upcoming videos, and in the next video I will talk about on for each loop. Then we will see how we can conditionally include the files if those exist. There is also a method in Laravel like which checks like if the file exists then include it, and a lot of more things we are going to cover in this views section. All right, so that's about it, and I will see you in the next video.